Welcome back to Bite-Sized Theology, where every episode we give you one and only one good bite of biblical theology from a Reformed Protestant perspective. This is the kind of theology that my friends John Calvin and Martin Luther would approve of. Let's talk about the words inerrancy and infallibility. We are talking about the Bible in these first few episodes of Bite-Sized Theology, and these are two words that we often hear when people talk about the Bible, and what people often talk about when they're talking about the truth and the trustworthiness of the Bible. You often hear inerrant and infallible. So what do these words mean? Well, first of all, how about a definition? The word inerrant simply means freedom from error, and the word infallible simply means incapable of erring, not capable of containing falsehood, and even impossible to err. So here you have two words. They're very similar in meaning, but both words mean that the Bible is absolutely true and can be trusted. Now, you might wonder, do we really need these technical words? Can't we just say that the Bible is accurate, that it's reliable, that it's correct? And the answer is yes, we can just say those things. But the words inerrant and infallible are helpful words, partly because they remind us that the Bible is true in a way that no other book is true, because the Bible contains the divine revelation of God. We believe that the Bible is inerrant, that it is true, and that it is infallible, it is incapable of being false. Now, let's focus on the word inerrancy for a moment, because that's the more popular of these two terms. And let's talk about what we mean when we say that the Bible is inerrant, because people will say things all the time like, well, that description, that verse over there doesn't line up with something that we know today. What do we mean when we say that the Bible is inerrant? Well, here's what we don't mean. And the Reformed theologian John Frame helps us with this. Here's what we don't mean when we say the Bible is inerrant. We don't mean that the Bible contains absolute precision. Often Christians read the Bible like they are reading an instruction manual on a car or a computer, or like they are reading some kind of textbook from school where everything is truthful and is communicated with a high degree of precision. But that's not how we typically communicate with each other in everyday life. And the Bible is the same way. The Bible often communicates truth in the ways that we communicate truth in everyday life. And John Frame gives this example. He says, if someone asks you your age, you will respond with the age that you turned on your last birthday. So let's say that you are 25 years old. I wish I could say I'm 25. I'm a little bit older than that. But let's say you say I am 25 years old, but you're actually only 1 month and a few days away from turning 26. Is it accurate to say that you're 25? Well, of course, the answer is yes. Now, if you wanted to provide a greater degree of precision, you would say, well, I'm actually 25 years old, 10 months, 28 days, 12 hours or something like that. You could get down to a high degree of detail if you knew more details about exactly the time of day you were born, if you looked at your birth certificate. But typically when we're asked that kind of question, we're able to give an answer with the degree of precision that is being asked of us. This is how we typically talk in everyday life. And typically in the Bible, we find the biblical authors using ordinary language, not technical language. Now, there are places in the Bible where technical language is given about historical events or about different matters of theology. But oftentimes in the Bible, we see communication done exactly the way we experience it in everyday life. So all of us use metaphor, hyperbole, parables, and humor to convey truth to other people. And of course, the Bible does the exact same thing. Dr. Frame gives us this helpful summary of inerrancy. He says this: inerrancy means that the Bible is true, not that it is maximally true. To the extent that precision is necessary for truth, the Bible is sufficiently precise. In other words, the Bible gives us the level of detail and precision that we need to grasp and believe the truth that it gives us. That's your bite of theology for today. See you next time.